Greetings, Dan Halligan from Kanta Games, and today we're going to play Solitaire. I'm trying a static cam for the duration, and I know while I capture most of this compact playing area, which I typically like for Solitaire, I know you can't see everything clearly. I think this is going to work a lot better without the shaky cam. I'll be able to bring tiles and cards up for you to view. Hopefully it works well. We're going to give it a try. Again, further respect for those that do these video reviews. I don't envy them. The second reason I want to use a static cam is I want to play a reasonably intelligent game of Solitaire here. And when I'm manipulating that camera, I make all kinds of mistakes. So hopefully I can keep those to a minimum. You use a two-player setup when you're playing Solitaire. There's a couple small modifications I'll mention as they come up. But the primary mechanic in Obsession when you're playing a competitive game for 2, 3, and 4 players is hosting activities at your country estate in your manor house. And that's really quite a solitary activity. You don't interact a whole lot with your competitors. It really makes Obsession great for playing Solitaire. I've played some other games where you've got a lot of sort of funky rules in order to make it work. Not the case here. There's really only 2 points of regular interaction for your competitors in a 2, 3, and 4 player game. And that's when you're in a competitive courtship for the love interests, over here managed on the turn track, and purchasing improvements from the builder's market, which represents craftsmen, imported building materials, and such. We're going to manage that, and I'm not going to edit out when I stumble over words. We're going to manage that with Solitaire opponents. I've picked a very tough one in Emma here. And Emma has a base score of 129 for her total victory points. And that can be added to by any courtship victories that she enjoys. The 2 areas of interaction are managed. This is for courtship. Each of these seasons corresponds with a 4-turn season here on the turn track. And these represent her victory points in her manor house at the end of each season. Now, I know you have foreknowledge of what her scoring is. It would seem like that's a real advantage. Let me tell you, I probably win only 1 out of 3, maybe 40% when I play Emma. And that's because these are really knock it out of the park scores. So the fact that you know, just settle down. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be able to waltz to victory. So that's our management of courtship, is with that grid. We use a 20-sided dice to manage where she purchases from the builder's market. It's weighted towards her purchasing the less expensive improvements, which is very common when we play in a game. And when a monument shows up, such as, let me see if I can find one real quick here, such as this monument, which confers a lot of victory points and they're extremely valuable, she preferentially goes for those. It's an all or nothing acquisition of a monument when it shows. So Emma's our opponent. I'm set up. I've acquired my 2 objective cards out of 5 to start. I'm going with 1 manageable objective, which is to get maximum reputation, and a very difficult one, which is the ladies group, which is to get a conservatory, a flower room, and a music room all together for 16 victory points. The reason is, if I don't string this together something like 23 victory points for battling Emma, out of objective cards, I've got no chance. I've got to get probably 20 plus victory points out of objective cards in order to beat a 129 plus score, plus being the extra courtship victory points. So I picked a hard one because I got to go for a lofty objective. York is my manor house. I get an extra footman. I've gone ahead and acquired my 2 starter guests. Got a nice mix here, male, female, a couple of different types of favors. And I'm ready to roll. We're playing a closed courtship. We're going to be revealing these theme cards now at the end of each season. And we're going to play a closed courtship for this game of Solitaire. So, looking at Emma's card, and I'm going to reference this a lot, I see that she played her study. Again, I'm assuming knowledge of rules. So I'm going to go ahead and play my study, because even after I play it, I get this benefit of the 300 pounds and the reputation, and we'll stay tied in the courtship. And maybe I can get that breakfast room over here in the builder's market if I want to go ahead and chase her down for the lead when it comes to essentials. So, playing the study. I have an objective. The reason I'm playing the Earl and his lady is I want to buy that servant's quarters in the market. Servant's quarters is the kind of flexibility I need in order to compete it with an expert. So I take 200 for the Earl, collecting tenant rents. The lady of the house looks at 2 of these guests that she has casual acquaintance with and keeps 1. Wow. You would think I would automatically take this, but I'm gonna tell you something. Having played solitaire against an expert, you need money. As bad as it is for reputation to have an American heiress, you need money. I'm gonna grab her because she's the best American heiress. She has the most money. That is, what is her name? Susan Morris. She is from North Carolina, and she stands to inherit a tobacco fortune. Really a bold play. Again, I'm playing for the competition here. So I've got I can break this down now. This flips over. I now get to purchase the servant's quarters, which I very much want. Puts me in the lead against Emma, season 1. I like that a lot for this. And I'm now done. Emma now purchases from the builder's market. She has a 3. Whoop, I need to, excuse me. I need to populate in the market. Stables comes in. And she buys from position 3, which is the butler's pantry. She takes out of circulation the under butler. A very powerful, high-end servant play, which is now out of bounds. It was purchased by Emma. Grab another one. All right, heads up. Drawing room oh no, I need a music room. But I don't have anything out there that I need for that group. We go to the second turn. I rotate my service. I now have a certain ability which I like, but which is I could go ahead and play my butler's room because I need a lot of servants to compete again against a tough guest. So what I'm going to do, I already got the servant. I got to wait till next turn to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead after the gazebo and seize the lead there. So I'm going to go afternoon tea. Let me show you the gazebo. Afternoon tea. I get 2 gentry, and I want to invite people. Here, I don't think I can invite. I'm going to do that and that. Valet. Ladies' maid. Take my money first. I get 100 here. It's not going to do much for me. I get 2 reputation. I like that a lot. I get a 2nd level guest. First tap into the prestige guest. Very nice. The wealthy Dowager Countess of Harp. She goes in my hand. Won't be able to play her for a while. And I break this down. This flips over. I now lead in the estate category. Can I purchase? I can't. But we can get a purchase from Emma, and Emma is going to go take from the 3rd position. Damn it. Smoking room is a really prized prestige tile. Early on, early reputation, out of the builder's market. Emma purchased. And we now pull out the main library. Let me show that to you. Got to remind myself to show you these. Main library. We're now on to turn number 3, which is the village fair. That's the reason I flipped this. The money and the reputation early in the first season is just so valuable. I take 300 for the village fair. Let me just refresh a memory on what goes on. You basically spend time devoted to the small village that's on the ancestral family lands. You make it a success. You get a little money, revenue from that fair, and a little local reputation for pleasing the villagers. Villagers are not the point of this game. It's the aristocracy. So it costs you a little bit in the way of victory points. I get 2 reputation there. And I'm going to go with an interesting play here. I should go here because I could be tied, tied. But I'm gonna cost myself to get into the money business. Watch this play. I go to the parlor. I need 2 ladies. Hello, American heiress. And you're going to come with the young lady of the house. I get this because of the servants' quarters. That's a delightful thing there. And these 3 reputation are canceled out by the game of whist in the parlor. That gives me 800 free and clear without costing me reputation. This is an admirer bonus reputation. That only is true when she's with a gentleman from the prestige guest category. So she just gets to invite a guest. So first of all, I take my money. And a lot of money it is. 4, 8. That's a beautiful thing there. Look at how I am stacked. And I get a guest. Please be good. Not bad. A little bit humble, but Francis Trotwood is a decent enough guest. He joins the circle of acquaintances. And I am done. So let's break this down. So one of the strategies here, if you see my bank, I am very well set for making a play for monuments and other tiles that can be critical to objectives or to staying ahead of Emma. So I'm not inclined to throw this money away right now. I'm not going to catch her in these 2 categories, even with a purchase from the market. I think what I might like to do is to get into that kennels. The kennels or the breakfast room. I'm going to go for the breakfast room because it's cheap. It's $400. And it gives me a path to maybe seize control of that second season courtship in the category of essentials. So $400 come off the stack. I slide down. And now flower room's out. Good for my objective. You've got some money to go after stuff like that. Now we see what Emma does. Emma gets a 13, which is no purchase. So she does not purchase from the market on this turn. We now go on to our courtship. Now our courtship, again, tied. I'm ahead, she's ahead, she's ahead. Let's flip it over. It's sporting. She leads in that category, so she is going to... Now, she doesn't have to take... She's not playing cards, so taking the love interest really doesn't mean anything. This is the key. Goes face down, adds to her base score. This is a card with victory points on it, so her base score is going up. Okay, we're on to our next season, turn 5. Rotate my service. Okay, as I look at Emma, I sort of want to get busy here. I'm already tied here. Going 2 gentlemen here. We are going to go to the bowling green. There. Take money first. I'm going to take reputation here, so I'm not taking that 100. I get 300 here. Keep my bank large. Take 2 reputation. I'm now at second level, which means I can play that breakfast room soon. Break this down. Flip this over. Looking at her card. You know, I want to get that kennels. I really do want to get that kennels. Mainly because it's such a great source of revenue and it gives me a path beyond the 2. You always have to have a path for your rising reputation to be turning new tiles. You do not want to play the same tile twice, although you can. Turn is over. What's Emma going to do? Let me slide this down. Cart shed comes in. That gives you additional Whoop, I'll hold that roll, show you that card shot. Gives you additional objective cards. Not bad, but certainly not worth being at that $800 price. A 16 from Emma. She does not remove again. She has not bought again from the marketplace. So we go on to the next turn. Next turn we get an objective card. Emma's not playing objective cards, but I get 3. I got 3 valets. Gives me 5 victory points. 1 garden and a flower room. Now look, that would actually dovetail with that ladies group. Or a stateroom bonus. I'm gonna go for the brass ring. I'm gonna see if I can use the flower room for 2 different flower rooms right there. Use it for 2 different objectives. I got to be careful and get that out before it's snapped up by Emma. Okay, this turn. I can't do anything except I can hire. Let me rotate my service. I'm going to go hire from the butler's room because I need servants. Servants are vital. I had 3 valets that would have got me 5 victory points, but 3 valets is going too far with the valets. I'm going to... What do I got? I'm going to take a valet, and I'm going to take... Because I got 2 footmen. I'm going to take a valet and a lady's maid. That also puts me ahead of her for that second turn there. That's a good play. Okay. So am I going to purchase? That drawing room is very tempting. Drawing room gives you front side victory points, as all prestige tiles do beside the start tile. And when you flip those babies, you get a lot of victory points. I doubt I'm going to compete with her, though. I'm not going to compete with her on that. Flower room 700. Do I not risk it? I'm taking the flower room. I can't risk it. I got too much riding on the flower room. Uh-oh. We have a monument coming in. That's a game changer. So now when a monument hits, Emma thinks differently. It's an all or nothing proposition to get that monument. If she rolls from 13 to 20, she takes that monument. She has a 2. She doesn't purchase that monument. So that's good news for me because I'd like to get that monument. If I get that monument, I can dominate her in this particular area. So we move on. Turn number 7. I have only 1 card. I'm not going to buy more servants, so I have to pass. I'm going to refresh my service, which I got a lot of. Take my 200 pounds for collecting tenant rents. And do I want to purchase anything with that 200 pounds? I don't. I'm going to bank that. We get over to Emma. Emma's after that monument. And Emma does not purchase that monument. That's excellent for me. Okay, we now go to the next courtship. The next courtship, if you take a look before I flip that, Emma leads there, Emma leads there, I lead here, here, and we're tied there. So 50-50 chance on this courtship. Estate. I lead in estate. That's outstanding. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the young lady, Elizabeth Fairchild, and I'm going to put her here. And I get this victory point. Nice. Beautiful. 7 victory points. That's great. Whoops, I got to make sure not to bump the microphone there. And we now go on to turn number 9, which has a village fair on it. So village fair gets me 300. 2 levels of reputation, 2 reputation. And I'm going to get going with this flower room. I want to stay ahead of Emma in that category. I can't play the kennels yet, but I have reputation sitting here in my refreshed deck. So I'm coming at the... I could do that breakfast room, which would put me ahead. No, it wouldn't put me ahead, but I could get that main library. Nope, I'm going the flower room. Now, first thing I'm doing is I'm inviting that wonderful love interest. I need 2 ladies. Wow. Look at how I could get into money again. I'm costing myself reputation though. And I don't know that I want to do that. I don't know. You know what I need? I really need additional quality guests. I'm going the lady of the house. So now this gets me into 2 more guests and gets me my reputation up. So go here. So now no money to take. Reputation, I have 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm now at a 3 reputation. Can play that kennels as well. The lady of the house, discerning as she is, gets to choose between these 2. I'm playing I'm going money with here. I'm taking Esquire Zachariel there. And the second level guest for the flower room, beautiful. Lord Harwood is somebody I can play right away. A lot of money. My money play is working out. Break this down. Flower room flips. I lead now for flower room. That's excellent. That goes over there. Purchase time. I've got a lot of money and guests sitting in my gentry deck, so I'm thinking about making some purchases, and I am. I'm going to grab that drawing room, which can be another prestige play. It's going to cost me all 500 that I have, but now I get front side victory points, and I have, look at the options I have as my reputation climbs. Excellent stuff. Very pleased. Now we get Emma. Emma is going to, you might ask why I didn't go after that 800, 900. I just didn't have enough. Here we got another croquet field. But Emma likes, and she takes that monument out of the circulation. She doesn't get the monument victory points. She basically is living and dying by this for courtship. But she does take it out of circulation and takes it away from me. Now we come in. There's a grand garden. Let me make a point about the national holiday here. National holiday, reputation is not a limiting factor on what type of guests or what type of events you can host. So you always want to make a play for a big event, a national holiday. It's usually a 5 or 6 tile reputation-wise that hosts a lot of people. And so I want to keep my eye on that. That Grand Garden has interest for that reason, not to mention the 4 front side victory points. Okay, turn 10. Rotate our service. I really like where I am right now. I lead here. I trail here. I trail here, but if I were to play this, I would be tied. Tells me I should play that. I could play this and I would still be behind. So I've got to go here. I'm going to grab this from here because it comes from the servants' quarters. And I need 3 gentry. Look what I'm doing here. I love this play. Can you see that? So I'm going with Lord Harwood. And I'm going to go with the young lady because she's with a prestige guest. That's somebody with 2 fleur-de-lis. Comes from that second pile. She's going to give me a reputation admirer bonus along with an invite. And I know 2's company and 3's a crowd, but I'm going to bring along for their trip. Let me see. I'm going to bring along more of a reputation play. I want to make sure I get this max reputation victory point kicker. Oh, I can't. I've got the 2 valets here. I do not have the valet there, so I need somebody who does not require a valet. I'm going to go, a chaperone. The dad's going to go with Lord Harwood, who's his own age. Make sure that everything's above board. So I've got 600, 900. Man, I got the money engine going. And I tell you, there's games you play where you're eating crumbs the whole game long. So I've got 900 there. I get 2 reputation for an admire bonus. I get 1 guest here. Whoa! Probably the best casual guest, Count Roger. Love him. Man, this game's going really well. I think I got a real shot at Emma here. Okay, I'm tied there, trailing there, ahead there, trailing there. Oh, I'm not ahead. I'm not ahead in service. She's up to 3. That's bad, but still pretty good. Purchase. Do I go for that main library and attempt? I'm not going to. Look, she's got me smoked. I've got to compete in these. She's got me smoked here. I've got to stay ahead. Oh, do I go for that Grand Garden? I'm trailing here. I'm not ahead here. She's got a 6. See what I tell you about these cards being loaded? All right, I got to go for that Grand Garden. Do I have 1,000? I have 900. Oh, man. All right, I'm going to do something. I'm going to take this 900, put it out here, and I'm going to trade with special actions for 100 more to get me to 1,000. That's 800 plus the 200 there. This gives me not only leadership throughout the game in this category right here, but it represents my, I'm going to have a bit of a prestige servant or prestige guest play, and it represents my national holiday play. So I had to do it. Very, 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 very expensive and frightening. I basically gutted all my money, but it is what it is. We now move on. Oh, no, I made my purchase. And now comes along Emma. Emma is purchasing the main library. Comes out of the game. Okay. And we move on. It is now a builder's holiday. I'm ahead here. No question we're making this play right here. Let's rotate our service. Pop up here. Come with the butler there. And I want 3 gentry. I'm doing it. I got to get back in the money game. That's going to cancel out that. It's hurting me. No, I'm not going to do it. Here. This comes via the servants' quarters here. Now, I total my money. I'm not taking money here. $100, 100 pounds is not going to do anything for me. So I got 3 and 2 is I got 5 reputation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gets me to a 4. I've got 2 invites there. 1 from this. She's good. A little timid, but not bad. A potential quarter for the young lady to get me an admirer bonus. Plus 2 victory points. Excellent. Keeps my deck stock there. Break this down. I flip this over. I've now got 7. I'm not catching her at 12, but there may come an option that'll help me to catch her in that 4th season. Okay, boom. Let's see what Emma wants. Emma wants position 6. She's taking the stables. That's fine by me. Make some of this good gravy stuff less expensive. That would be wonderful. Okay, grab a tile here. Oh, music room's out. I got to go after the music room, and I got a garden. Oh, you know, I just realized I filled this. Flower room and a garden. Outstanding. Okay, we're on to our courtship. And the courtship. Okay, who's going to win this? Let's see where we're at. Tied there, trailing, or no, tied there, trailing there, leading there, trailing there, trailing there. Wow, bad. No, good. This shows, in case you're not familiar with courtship, seeing it a number of times, this shows an emphasis as far as their preferred style of living. So they pretty much are outdoors people. They like the gardens, the flowers, the horses, the fox hunts. They like out of doors. Now, I do need to retrieve her. I've returned her at the beginning of the courtship. I now win this. She comes back to me, but she goes into my gentry deck. She's playable. I get another one of these. 4 victory points and an objective card draw. I'm going to go with the 4 victory points, although that's a full draw. 3 to keep 1. I could get more than 4 victory points. I got to sort of, I can do that at some later time. Turn 13 is up. I'm going to rotate service. And things are getting grim here. I'm going to be okay there while I'm tied there. Going to lose that. I'm tied there. I'm going to lose that. Going to lose that. Final courtship's going to be so key. Probably worth 12, 13, 14 victory points. I'm going to play the Grand Garden, so I'll get that. But I'm not going to get that. I'm not going to get that. I've got to focus here. If I make a big play in the breakfast room today, I'm not going to be able to host 6 people at the Grand Garden, and I'm going to have a dud of a national holiday. And I've got some higher level people that I want to come. So I'm going to pass this turn. Reconstitute my deck. I take 200. I have the option, instead of 200, to refresh that market, but I want that music room out there, and I also want a green play. That's going to be my last play of the game, is one of those to go ahead there. I'm never going to get to that conservatory, son of a gun. Well, let's stay focused here. So I passed, and I refresh my servants. Not purchasing anything. My 200 got knocked. Not purchasing anything. What is, 8? And 8 is 3rd position. She takes a croquet field, which is going to be one of my target tiles. I'm now going to have to go after that tennis court and the last turn of all. And another green, a billiards room comes out. I'm not going to get around to finishing some of the things I want to finish. National holiday time. Watch this bad boy. This is going to be fun stuff. Hosting in the Grand Garden. I've got 2 prestige guests there. Bringing her, him. That gets an admirer bonus. Ooh, I'm not going to be able to do both Lord Harwood and her. I've got the 400 there. I'm going to go Count Roger again. And, whoop, that's the admirer bonus. Got confused there for a moment. There we go. Sorry, bumping the microphone there. Can you see everybody? I think you can. I need to go service there. I need to go service here. I need to go service here. Ah! I can't invite Count Roger. You know, I'll save him for my tennis play. I'll save him for my tennis play because I'll have somebody in the servants' quarters. I won't have 2. Well, we'll see. Who else do I have? I'm going to come here with the sun. So I'm done with my service. Money, I got 600s. Let me see, I got 3, 5, 8. That's 5, 10. I'm going to keep that for prestige. Take 600. One more. Okay, and now my reputation. 3, 6, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Reputation is 6. I need to get 5 reputation next turn. I don't think I can do it. And then invites. I get 2 high-level guests. Wow. Great victory points. Pulled 9 victory points out of those 2 guests. Maybe one can attend the tennis match. Because that is what I'm doing. Dominates there. That is what I'm doing, is I'm buying this tennis court for 600. So I want to get that played next turn. And that 600 goes in, that slides down. I get that tennis court. I get Cabinet of Curiosities. Wow, that's a high reputation play. And I am done. Let's see what Lady Emma does. Lady Emma does not make a purchase this turn with a 14. Go to the last turn. Rotate my service. I have to play the tennis court. I get to fortunately take one from servants' quarters. I can't play Count Roger. Well, watch. The lady. Do I need... Oh, you know what I'm going to use? I'm going to dismiss any guest. So with the lady, I get to dismiss a guest. Susan Morris has served me well, but she's -3 victory points. She's getting kicked to the curb before we do endgame scoring. So that's a strong play. And I come over here, and she needs the housekeeper. I get 700. I'll tell you, this is one of the best engines I've had for money in a long time. And I get a dismissal here, which was Susan Morris. If I break this down, I now win this category. I love my play. I love my play. I have 3, 6, 9. That's worth 4 victory points if I don't spend it. Whoops, sorry to bump the camera. I don't see anything that's going to get me 4 victory points. That I could get that for 4 victory points. Wait, would that do anything? That would be 7. That would be 11. That leaves me 1 short. But that, no. No. I'm just going to keep the money. Okay. Get to this final courtship. Another great reason for playing that is that's counted twice in the final courtship. Whoop. Forgot about Lady Emma. Lady Emma taking the cart shed. Takes that out. This is really not important. Okay, we get to final courtship. We go ahead and pull a card. Prestige. So what does that mean? We have prestige. We'll total up the prestige. Sporting, we'll total that up. And then we will total up estate and multiply it by 2. So here we have 7 and 2 is 9. 9 and 7 is 16. Here we have 12. We double that. That's 24 and 16 is 40. So that is the courtship calculation for the final courtship for Team York, for moi. And we take a look at Emma. She's going to be 6 and 12 is 18, plus 9 times 2, which is 18, for 36. Victory. So, I secure the love interest for my daughter. That goes into my deck for endgame scoring. We'll put that over on the wedding bells. My daughter and Charles Fairchild hopefully be getting married. And then I get an additional victory point card. Yes! Just what I needed. That's the highest victory point total that's available from a victory point card. So we're going to grab a... whoops, sorry to bump that. We're going to grab a score sheet. And I'm going to only total up York because Emma's got her own base score there, which reflects all these scores inside of that, plus her 1 victory point card. So I have 7 and 9 is 16, and 12 is 28, 29, 30. So 30 is my York score. Victory points for Gentry. I have 8, 11, 17, 19, 22, 24, 27, 27 victory points for Gentry. My subtotal score is 57. Objective card victory points. Unfortunately, I missed these 2, but I did get 11 here. That could hurt me. That could hurt me. I need 20, I think, in order to win. Reputation victory points. That is 21 for 6. And I'm really thinking I should have sold out for reputation there, because if I'd gotten to the next level, that would have been 7 plus 7. That would have been 14 extra victory points. I should have played that drawing room. That could, again, cost me the game. So 21 is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6. That's where that comes from. Subtotal now is 80. Yes, 89. So I'm at 89. And then service victory points, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Wealth, I had 9 there. That's for every 2 is 1 point, so I have 4. And courtship, I have 15, 19. So my total is 89. Oops, I'm sorry, hold it up here. 89. That's 109. That's 128. Well, I don't think I'm going to get her because she's 129 plus 5. 136. 136, I lose 136 to 128 to Emma. Or, I'm sorry, yeah, 136 Emma, 128 me. I think what cost me there was not getting another objective, and the one I should have gone for on the last turn, although I would have to factor out the success I had in getting some additional victory points, may have been as much as 10 additional victory points, which would have been the victory. Sorry for the long video. Thanks for watching.